Okay, guys, welcome back. We had stopped at expenses. Okay, so these are what we're recording were cash expenses. That as soon as you pay the expense, you pay. Now let's look at expenses on credit. If you say you incurred what? If you have areas of salaries, or if you have incur water bills, okay, but you have not paid yet, what happens? Or if you make a purchase inventory, but you haven't paid, like purchase on credit. What we do with those is usually we use the vendor account, okay? Because you're buying from someone and you're not paying them immediately. You go to vendor and you do what you call enter bills. Okay, you're recognizing an expense officially. So on enter bills, so assuming we have what would be the best example? I want to use purchases because we're used to it. Okay, assuming your rent, assuming that you're staying in somebody's house and you have spent a month, okay, incurred the rent expense of 20,000, but it's outstanding, you haven't paid it yet. So you come and register. So what you do is, first of all, you're supposed to capture the person from whom you bought goods on credit. Because that record is important because for record purposes, so that you know whom you're going to pay later. So usually you come and add a vendor new, okay? So you add that particular person from whom you buy. Assuming it's a rental, let's say Akamwesi. Akamwesi management. Okay. Have you incurred any expenses yet? Before, maybe not. Okay. So you had this guy before, 1st July 2021, but you don't have any date with him. Okay. So you say, okay. Okay, but what's happening is you're now in the guy's house. Maybe 3 months later, this is July. Let's say 3 months later, this is what, September. That is September, and the guy is demanding rent for 3 months. Okay. So you come on expenses, you put here rent expense, rent. And expenses, I'm not seeing rent. So you may want to capture that. So you say add a new. So when you add new, sorry about that. Okay, add a new, sorry. Then rent, it's an expense. So click on expense, that must show. Then when you click, you have say rent expense. Say rent expense or just rent, same thing. Then you say save. I think it's already new, so I didn't see it. So if it's there, then we're going to check it again because I didn't see it. When you come on expenses, you look for rent. Rent. Yeah, it's here. So you click on rent expense. Okay. Then you put the amount, assuming it is 400,000. Unfortunately, I'm using scenarios, so just bear with me. So we're saying this is credit. Okay, maybe I'll credit. Say rent outstanding. Okay. The guy is demanding rent for such amount. Then you save it. So when you save, what happens is, if you go to your chest of accounts, this is failing to save companies calculates, please. I wouldn't know. Why is it failing? Why is it failing? Maybe I can try again to open an account for you and try to follow through. Okay, maybe that will do. So maybe before I get back to you, let's maybe first show you this, guys. So we incurred a rent expense, or you recognize the bill of rent expense. So when you come and check in your books, you find that you have rent somewhere, rent expense. Okay, unfortunately, this one doesn't show Yeah, here it is. When you click on it, it will show you that you're demanding 400,000. They're demanding you 400,000. Okay, right. So that's how we capture the rent expense, guys. Okay, outstanding. That is if you're not paid yet. What else? What else? Okay, someone was saying she's still having trouble saving an account. For accounts, we're saying this will be longer. It'll take me forever. Do you mind sharing the issue kindly? Feel free to unmute and tell me what you see. The one who's failing to open a file, save a file, company name, because that's important. Please unmute and tell me what's the problem, because I don't think going back this side I'll take forever to come back this side. Maybe I'll show you at the end, which is still not a good idea because I think you're trying to follow. Okay, guys, kindly bear with me. So for how you save a file name is by saying, I'm going to use Express Start, which is easier. Okay, so you have a name, then you have industry, say what, general merchandise, general product, okay, company type, say it's corporation, then ID, blah, blah, then you continue. Okay, this one is shorter, it's easier. Just put the most important things. Okay, then create company. So this is what happens as you create the company. The one who was failing to save the company. Once you open the account, suppose use detailed thing, not express it. So don't confuse the two. Here I'm trying to just be fast and show you how you can save the company name. Okay, so after creating your account, this is what will show up. Okay, then it start working. Okay, this didn't give me location, so I think that's why the problem is. Problem could be on location. So, but when you come to file and look out for what you have saved, it was KPPP. If I click on it, it will show you the location even where it is. As you can see here, this one here was saved on desktop, still in a folder. It's called KK. So I don't know what's really failing you. So kindly elaborate. That's what I could really do. Yes. So let me go to where we are. Okay. So guys, for expenses, that's how we capture the expenses. They are very easy. If they're cash expenses, you go to banking and write banking, then write checks. If it's cash, you just choose the cash account. If it is bank, you choose the bank that you're referring to. Then if it's rent that you're incurring, still you saw how easy it is. If it is on credit, you have seen. So let's see about items. I hope someone has shared. Okay, I think Musa has shared. Good. So let me do one question on an item. Okay, how we capture a balance on items, then credit purchase. Then we see how it goes. Okay. So this same question of task. Let me share the question. So this same question of task. There's there are transactions that you're supposed to do. I'll begin with that we just dealt with, which is purchases, which is basically spending. There's cash purchase, then there is credit purchase. For credit purchase, you go to vendor, like I already said. For credit, you go to vendor, then enter bills. So let's see that. Okay. Yeah, those are end of the adjustments. We are going to look at them. So kindly be patient. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. So you come to vendor, you're capturing bills. Okay, you're buying on credit. So enter bills. So you enter bills, you look for the vendor. So the person not here. That is because you're not captured him yet. So you come and look for, the question was saying that the vendor is Giotto Steels Mills. So when I come to my working and try to create one, I'll say add new. This is what will come. So you put the vendor's name, Giotto Mills. The date doesn't matter, but always try to put at the beginning of the year so that in case there are any transactions in between, you don't miss them out. Okay. Then you say, okay. Okay, so that's the vendor. Then you ask yourself, when did I buy? They said it was on 10th July. So you come and say 10th July. Click on 10th July, beginning of the year, 2021. Then you come, see you have expenses and you have items. Purchases go under items. Whenever you buy, you're buying items. So when you come to items, you click, you look for the item. If it's not there, you're supposed to add it there. So you add. Okay, it's inventory. And in this case, we had size Y10. Okay, size Y10 of metal bars. So usually you come and put here size Y10 of metal bars. So you press this, okay, because size 10 is under metal bars. So you press that and you click and try to put the metal bars here. So still something inventory, but this time metal bars. Okay. You enable measurement if there is, but for metal bars, didn't have measurements. The measurements are going to be, they didn't have reasons, so you don't want to force life. So which account? Usually the income account is sales. Okay. And then you say, okay. Okay, so come back size 10. Size 10, we don't have the unit of measure, so you don't want to force it. Okay. Do you have the price? Okay, so this is not non-pad, but okay, supposed to be the inventory part. It's not here. So whenever I don't find inventory part here, it's supposed to be inventory part. There's no inventory part, just means you have to go to first close this, come to lists or list items. Then I want to add one item. We still don't have inventory part. So what you do is you come to edit, preferences, then you have inventory. Yeah. Someone saying something. Items and inventory. So you click this part here. It's inventory and purchase orders are active. So you're supposed to activate this. So when you click on that, you may not change this preference while adding or editing. Say okay. it's failing. So what you do is first come and close all these windows. This part is hiding. Yeah, it's inventory part. Just so I have to go and make sure that the inventory part is active. So I close all these windows. You want to record? No. Okay, then I come still to list and I first activate that. Okay. So you say edit, preference, inventory part, then click. This must be active. So when you click on it and you say, okay, preferably you want to have quantity on hand rather than available, then you say, okay. Okay, so now if I go back to my vendor and do the needful, saying vendor, enter bills. Our vendor was Little Mills. That's the date. The date was actually 10th July. Okay, when we made the purchase, 10th July 2021. Okay, then items. So under items, we're saying I want size. Okay, so it must bring inventory part. Okay, so that is what you see, inventory part. Then say size Y10. It is a sub item of metal bars. Got those metal bars already here. Inventory part still metal bars. Okay, for this one, just put the income account, which is sales. The date you want to consider as of 1st July, first beginning of the year, always. Then you say, okay. Spread the news, okay. And consider something else. Okay. Then you say, okay. Okay, as you notice, I've not put the number of units, and the reason is because they weren't given. For meter, for size 10, I don't think they gave us the unit of measure. They didn't say that it is in meters or it is in kgs. So you don't want to assume. Otherwise, if you assume and you assume wrongly, then you have your own challenges. So, okay. So this is what will come up. So they'll show you that you have size 10 under metal bars. It was a credit purchase. So under Memo, you can say credit purchase. How many units were they? I think they were given in the question. The units are 125. It's a kindly mute the video. Anita, your video 257 275. The cost, if you have the cost given, they didn't tell us, but the information was given up here. Yes, I didn't pick it. The cost is 650, 650 units. So it would come automatically if I'd captured it earlier, but since I didn't, that's why you're seeing it that way. So guys, that is how you capture the purchase on what? It's okay. That's how you capture the purchase on credit. Then you save and close. Okay, that's for items. What else? We can look at a cell. A credit cell. How would it be like? Where do we get the meter bars from? The meter bars, what do you mean where do we get them from? Because we're given in the question. Let me share it. Here, this question, the stock, we're saying stock, we had cement, then you had metal bars. But under meta bars, you have size Y10 and size Y16. So what do you mean? Where do we get it from? Okay. This implies that size Y10 is a sub-item of meta bars. And so is size Y16, a sub-item of meta bars. That's what we put. I can maybe repeat for Y, size Y16. Okay, let's even capture the opening balances. Because these are balances, I've not talked about them. So we're going to use size 16 to capture balances. It has a quantity of 180. It has a cost of 810 and a selling price of 1050. So you go to list. You go to list. List up here. Then you click on item list. So when you expand to see what's there. So far we captured size Y10, which is under sub meters, meter bars, sorry. So let's put size Y16. You come here under item and add a new. When you click on new, this is what will come. So you say inventory part, then you put size Y16. Okay, it is a sub item of, you click here, meta bars. If you don't have meta bars here, you just add new and you put meta bars. Let's sample. You add, then you say thingy, then you put here, you say meta bars. Okay. Then here, what you do is you change, you put the income account as sales here. Okay. Then you put the opening date, and then you say okay. When you press okay, what will come is here you will see something like this, like that. Okay. So then you continue. Then you are given the cost of this. The cost is 810. So you put 810 here. Okay. The quantity is 180. So it's here, quantity at hand or on hand. Field must be very good. Okay. Uh, 65. Okay. Then income account, same thing, sales. Then the date, you can put start date always. Okay, then you say okay. So when you say okay, that's how you capture the opening balance for inventories or inventory items. Guys, I want to look at the cell. So otherwise, the one was asking for sub item. That's how you do it. Okay, so we can look at a credit cell. A credit cell, or anything to do with sale. If it is cash sale or credit sale, just go to customer. Say customer. For credit sale, you're supposed to create an invoice. Okay, so for credit sale, it's an invoice. And then you capture the job, the person from to whom you have sold. If you have the name of the customer, you put it. If you don't have it, you just share it. Okay. Then when did you sell? When you got with our question of task 1, we had a credit sale. Yeah, credit sale to Bridge on the 16th of July. So you may want to put the customer here as Bridge. So you add new. Then you say Bridge. Okay. This date always have it as the first of the beginning of the year. Okay, then it's okay. Don't have any balances. So you capture the items. So here they sold to the guy, was Bridge. They sold to him size Y10. Okay, the quantity is 41. So you come here, when you click on the code, items you captured always be here. So Y10, here it is. And the quantity, you put what you sold. Description, credit sale. And then the price, I think the price was given. If it's not given, it's because they had given you some prices up here. Okay, so Y10, the selling price is 850. Okay. So we'll say 850. Then you say save. Okay, if there's another credit sale, you say save and new. If it's the only one, you save and close. Okay, if you have the same customer on the same date, buying 2 different items, you first include that second item here. Okay, first include the item, and then you go on. So assuming there's none, so save and close. It says that is how we capture credit sales. You create invoices. Where did you put the selling price? Where did I put it? Oh, where did I get it from? It is there. The information is there. Say customers. Credit invoice. There always be the price is here. The price each. So I put the selling price. Okay, the price at which you have sold it, not the price at which you bought. Always be here. Okay, so I've answered you. Let's now look at something else. Let's look at the sales return. If there's a sales return, assuming you sold to Bridge like we did 41 units and it returns 1, or it returns 20, what do you do? What you do is you go to customer, and then you create what you call a credit memo. This one here. So refund what? Credit memo. So when you click on it, so it will show up. So credit memo, it shows which customer, assuming it was Bridge, who has returned the goods. Okay, because of course, if somebody returns the goods, he's supposed to reduce his debt, or if he paid cash, he's supposed to refund the money. So that's what we mean by credit memo or refund. So when did he return? Assuming he returned it at a later date, he had bought on 10th July, we returned them at maybe 24th July. Okay, so if that's the case, you ask yourself, what was the item? Because they're taken, I think, Y10. Okay, what's the description? You say it's a sales return. The guy has returned the goods. How many? Assuming he returned 20. Okay, at what rate? Of course, the rate is the price at which he took them. Otherwise, you can't say the guy is returning goods and then you're saying, since you have taken long with my goods, you're going to pay me more than how much you paid.
Andrew.
Robbery. So that is how you deal with this. Then you say save. Okay, guys, that's how we capture.
Andrew.
That's method 1. Then I will ask you, what would you like to do with this credit? Okay. Return as an available credit, give a refund, apply to an invoice. In this case, you want to apply to an invoice. That is if he didn't pay on cash. If he took goods on credit and now is returning some goods, then it applies on the invoice. But if he took goods on cash, he paid for it, then he's going to take it as a give refund because it's supposed to refund his money. So you say, okay. Okay, then they'll say, was this the invoice? Of course, it was the invoice. Originally, it was 13,000. So you say it's okay. All right, then you say done. Right, that's how we see, that's how we capture a sales return. Let me see what someone is saying. What is the credits memo for? And how do you get it? It's for a sales return. For those who have the question, which you should be having, you said refer to task 1. Task 1. There was a sales return here. Yeah, July 24th bridge, of which this very bridge, if you check the past events, because these dates came later, you come on credit sales, you see here, July 16th, bridge bought on credit, 141 size 10 items. Okay, so then some days later, 8 days later, 24th July, bridge returned 41 of the same size 10. So a credit memo, what it does is it just tries to reduce, if you took them on credit, it reduces your debt because you can't pay for what you don't have it. If you took goods worth 20M and you returned the goods worth 5M, of course your debt has to reduce. That's what the credit memo does. Okay, so if it was on credit, you're saying it affects the invoice. If it was on cash, it would affect the refund. I can repeat this one. We shall repeat from, shall do the credit sale and then do the return. Now that would be fair enough, 1 each. Okay, so credit sale first. You're saying you go to customer. You go to customer, okay, and then you click enter, create invoice. This is sell on credit. Okay, then you say okay. Whom did you sell to? You're saying sold to Bridge. Let's now bring a new guy. Assuming we now sold to Katavas. Okay. When was that? Maybe it was on 3rd of August. Okay. Then you say okay. What did the guy buy? The guy bought size 16. Okay. And the units were over 1,000. Took 1,000 units. And each had cost, we sold to him at a price of say 100. Let's use 100 for monitoring. 100. So if we sold at 100, meaning that the guy is going to be demanded 100,000. Are you seeing Katabazi's debt? It is 100,000. So you say, okay, save and close. Okay, now what if Katabaz returns half of the goods? If I return 500 of the goods, when I return them, what they call a sales return, it's supposed to come to customers and you create what they call credit memo or refund. I see. If I had bought on cash, it will be a refund. But since I bought on credit, that's why I'm saying it's a credit memo. So you click credit memo. Okay. Who is the guy returning the goods? It is Katavas. When is he returning the goods? The guy took the goods on 3rd of August, but he has returned them maybe on 30th September. He returned some goods on 30th September. What did he take? He took Y16. Okay. What are you saying? You're saying that the guy returned sales return. Okay. How many units? You're saying the guy returned half of them. You're taking 1,000, they returned 500. At what price did he take each? Each was at 100 when he was taking it. So meaning that Kata was returning 500,000 in units worth 50K. So you say, okay, save and what, and close. Then they'll say, okay. So they'll ask you, this return here, or this credit that you're creating, is it on the refund? Are you going to give him back money, or it's on credit? Saying it's on an invoice. So you say, okay. I hope you're getting the difference. For money, it will go under refund if you had bought on cash. But the man bought on credit, that's why it's going to an invoice. So you say, okay. So you will see that in the beginning, Kata was, you were demanding him 100,000. But because he's returning 50 worth of goods, the balance that's going to remain is only going to be 50. Okay, that's why it's now we say, okay, done. That is how we do a sales return. Okay. This one is me. Yeah, but it's Skawa still. I hope you've understood it. Try it again. Okay. All right, so guys, that is the sales return. Let's look at the purchase return. We already know how whenever we sell or whenever we purchase, either on cash or on credit, what we do. For cash, we said you go to banking and write a check. If you're buying on credit, you're saying you go to vendor and capture the vendor's name and the item just bought. Then we see by entering the bill. I hope that is okay. What if this guy returns goods? Let's first capture him. How you tell me else? Okay, since we already have him, I don't want to really use him again. I don't want to put another thing, just use Jatamils. So this is the bill. The guy demands us 178,000. That's what he's demanding from the business. So assuming that we also return goods to him. You want to, no. But if I want to return goods to him, what do I do? Let me see. Enter bill for received items. Received items. So we say that you go to received items. Now for received items, you'll see bill and credit. Okay, so when you click on this part here, that's going to be active. Let me try the other way around. Okay, we are doing a purchase return. See this one. Yeah, this one has worked. Okay, so when you press on credit and enter bill, we are returning goods. So the thing will come from bill. Yeah, then you click credit. So credit means that